Namaste, welcome and welcome to Powerhouse Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I'm Energy Goddess. This live is going to be a pick a card. Okay, pick a card message. What we got going on? The pique cards. Holy Spirit, connect me to the pick a card messages. To the pick a card messages here, Holy Spirit. Alright. I don't know why I got them upside down either. Here. Let me turn y'all around. Okay. Welcome in, y'all. This one gonna be a pick a card. Pick a card. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Pick a card. In that card selection, it's gonna be messages to help you figure out what it is that Spirit need to tell you at this time. If you enjoy my videos and my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the post notification bell so that you always are notified when I upload to my channel. Okay. So, card 1, we have Master the Dance. Okay. Spirit right now wants to tell you to master the dance. Okay. So it probably feels like, for those of us that pick card 1, it's like you've been doing something for quite some time. Now Spirit's like, master the dance. Mastering the dance means to trust. You know what I'm saying? That your movements will match what you're doing here. You know, at some point we have to trust everything that we've learned all the way up until this point. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna fail us, right? Feet ain't gonna fail me now, right? So master the dance. It's about being graceful. You know what I'm saying? Mastering the dance, right? When you're mastering the dance, it doesn't look rehearsed. It doesn't look like you're trying so hard, right? So let's get the messages here in Tarot, what it has to say about mastering the dance for those of us who pick card 1 selection. Let's get the messages. Number 44 could be very significant for those of us who pick card selection number 1. With mastering the dance, 44 is a master number. Okay, let's go. Let's go. What are the messages for card 1 selection? What is it that you need me to connect to here, Holy Spirit, for those of us who picked card 1? Who selected card 1? Who will watch the messages for card 1? I forgot I even had you on, player. Hey, love. Welcome in, Lois. All right. What are the messages for card number 1 selection? What are the messages here for card 1? Let's get the overall energy here. Let's get some overall energy. Okay, so we have it. Whoa. Yeah, so magician is like talking about mastering what it is that you're doing. The magician is like, you know what you're doing, right? King of Pentacles message is like security and trusting yourself, your process, what it is that you have to go through. 7 of Swords is like, don't be distraught by any sort of deception right now, because it's going to be a lot of it, and you're going to have to be able to maneuver your way through it, right? With the King of Cups, being intelligent, mastering the dance. This is all about mastering the dance here, what I'm seeing. Last card out, you got it in the Devil. I'm going to get some more messages concerning the Devil. This has something to do with possible imbalances for those of us who pick card number 1. It's like you want to heal, but a part of you is torn or something like that. I'm going to just dive a little deeper into the Ace of Cups in reverse message. What does it mean? Okay. Change. Don't fight it. Go with the flow of it. Some of us sometimes have a tendency to fight change, or to think that this isn't the way things are supposed to be happening, so we want things to change, when really Spirit is trying to show us that we can trust Spirit to have our back. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit. The Magician, trust Spirit, you know? Because although the Magician has basically like the Pentacles, the Swords, the Cups, the Wands, the Magician has everything. And the thing that makes the Magician powerful, the powerhouse that the Magician is that the Magician can call on Spirit for any extra needed power or any extra needed oomph. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes the Magician powerful. So it's like you have to trust the Spirit, the soul, to guide you. That's what they're saying. Tell me more about the Devil and why it's showing up in this read. Let's get more about the Devil here for those of us who pick card number 1. Okay, so we got out the Knight of Cups. And we also have out the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. Okay, so sometimes I feel like when there's an inability to listen to Spirit, sometimes for those of us that pick card 1, I feel like they're saying like sometimes your biggest enemy is yourself, like going back to things that sabotaged you in the past, like especially when it comes to relationships. For those of us that pick card number 1, you know, be mindful of those situations, because they'll always come back up to see if you really learn how to master the dance when it comes to relationships or relationship dynamics. It doesn't have to be intimate. This could just be like relationships with a boss, with a friend, you know, etc. Any type of situation that puts you in a relationship with someone else, right? And so Spirit really wants us to keep that in mind moving forward, that if we haven't truly mastered the dance and how to be around these people in healthy dynamics, it's going to keep coming up for us, for those of us who pick card number 1. Let's see. Tell me more about the 7 of Wands or the 7 of Swords. Tell me more about the 7 of Swords and why you showed up. Yeah. So you got the Judgment. What else? And we have out the High Priestess. high priestess trusts the self. You know what I mean? Like, high priestess trusts the inner knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That we have the solution, right? And through our intuition, we'll find whatever solution that we need. So it's asking you, you know, to master the dance through your experience, you know, and to trust that process, that you're actually learning something. Because a lot of times we'll get going and we think that we haven't really mastered something, or we haven't really figured something out. But Spirit is like, trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't gotten this far to not trust yourself, you know? On some real shit, for those of us who pick card 1, that's just for real. 6 of fucking cups, you know? Things in the past taught you to not trust yourself. Those were the times when you were going through life's experience to teach you how to master the dance. So, but you're not that person still going through those situations and still learning. You're still learning. You'll always be a student of life. But it's like you learn certain lessons, and so now you have to show the grace and posterior when facing life. You know what I'm saying? You have to show that. Let it show, shine through. That's your grace. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit. You don't have to feel like I have to be that person that I was before, because you've changed. You know? You've changed. And it feels good. Sometimes it's scary because it's like, I don't know, for some of y'all I'm hearing like you think it's like a weakness or something, or it's weak, but this is actual strength. Just so we clear. And mastering the dance here for those of us getting the message. Okay? Now, let's get the outcome here for card number 1. Those of us who pick card number 1, what's the outcome here? The outcome for card number 1, selection. Okay, so we got trusting the Spirit. There's a huge transition that's happening for us all that pick card number 1. I feel like you have to be patient with yourself. You have the Knight of Pentacles, you know, emphasizing patience, you know. Mastering the dance is not easy. And it obviously your life hasn't been the easiest, right? But that's what it is. It's like trusting and transitioning where you are. Confirmation. Y'all hear Hamza. Trust the transition that you're in right now, you know, and that you've been led here, okay? All right. What else is the outcome here? We'll take more on the outcome for card number 1. Yeah, so you have a major rebirth here. This is restructuring, because it's like once you master the dance, it's like you'll continue to level up. That's why I said you'll always be a student of life. You'll always be learning. So once you allow the transition to happen, say, okay, well, I've mastered this area aspect of my life, and now I'm ready for the next area and aspect, right? And so it's a constant leveling up that you face, right? Those of us that pick card 1, and you realize that, you know that, you're very aware of that, you're very conscious of this. The thing is that there keeps being different levels of it, and it feels like a lot of pressure, and it's supposed to feel like that, but the release in the pressure, and where you will find release, is when you trust the Spirit to do the other things that you can't do. Surrender some of the pressure that you feel. You don't have to carry the weight, the brunt of this alone. You're not alone. Okay? And that's what Spirit really needs you to know, for those of us that pick card 1, okay? Sometimes you get a little stuck, and it's because you're not relying and trusting truly on that high priestess, the Spirit, the soul, right? And so that's a very heavy message in how you continue to learn how to master self, the dance, right? Yeah, so we have the 10 of Swords. This is definitely being able to release thoughts, being able to release paradigms that are in our mind that hold us back from our true process of trusting right? The spirit, okay? And persistence. We have out with the 9 of Wands, okay? It's an outcome. I love it. And then we also have out the Ace of Pentacles, okay? This is us like reaching heights that we've never saw before. Some of you guys didn't know, but you actually have gifts that you will share with the world. And this is just like on some shit because like this is, you know, what was part of your path, part of your destiny, part of your new beginning and where you're going in. And your new levels of consciousness, awareness of who you are. You know, some of us, we leveled up that much on some real shit, just period. Yeah, and then that puts you into your purpose with the Justice card. Yeah, because it's like, these were things you were supposed to do. You're a truth teller, you're a truth speaker. You know, mastering the dance, I feel like the biggest lesson for those of us that pick card 1 that we have to learn is how to be truthful to ourselves. I feel like that's the main part of mastering the dance and being so graceful. Is just our fucking brute honesty is a big part of who we are. And it hurts because the more that you grow, the more that you realize you don't have to throw punches or be disgusting as the world is around you, right? And I feel like those of us who pick card 1, you know, you really are above a lot of people. And that fucking sucks because it's like you can get on their level, but it's like it's kind of beneath you. You know what I'm saying? To do so. And the more that you grow, the more that you see that you don't have to stoop to people's level to show them anything, or you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You know what I'm saying? The more that you have strength in that, you know. And I feel like sometimes in those paradigms where you had relationships in the past, friends, jobs, whatever, people took you for granted because you weren't able to necessarily speak your truth. And now you are, and not even just speaking your truth, but more so living it. And it perturbs people, and they look down on you, or they try to look down on you. In all actuality, they look up to you, but they have this distorted perception about you, right? That isn't true. And it's due to all of the elevation and growth work that you have done internally. It's due to all of the self-sacrifice that you've done over the years, you know, with letting people go. Like, hey, you know what? If this isn't working out for me, I'm going to be mature me. I'm going to be the best me. You know what I'm saying? Make decisions like that. Like, you've evolved past, like, the superficial, childish, immature, whatever of a vessel that you used to know. And it's because you've trusted your intuition this far. So, yeah, different levels, different devils, you know, but we're mastering it, you know, for those of us that pick card 1. And I really just hope that you know how important you are and how much of a difference you're making, you know, and an impact on the rest of the world because of your conscious awareness of who you are. And sometimes if you want to tell somebody, you know, hey, you know, F you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, because I feel like, look, you know, at some point you got to be able to protect yourself and defend what you know as truth. And I feel like people respect that more coming from somebody like you, because it's not like you run around doing it all the time. But when sometimes you got to get in somebody's ass, hey, you know, it's going to be necessary that you back them off properly so that they don't ever think like, oh, I can do that or do this to this person, you know. So sometimes when you got to defend yourself, do it, you know. Don't feel bad about it, you know, because you guys, those of us that pick card 1, it's like you're a pretty wholesome bunch of people on some real shit. And it's not that you don't have it in you, it's just you don't choose to, you know what I'm saying, sink to other people's level, because you know that they're very low, and you don't need to lower your vibrations. In fact, you're trying to raise all of the vibrations that exist around you, just period. Because yeah, like why lower the vibrations? Like who the fuck? But so kudos to you, those of us that picked card number 1. All right, and mastering the dance. We're gonna slide into the messages for card number 2. Hello, good evening. Texas is ready when I am. Okay. Thank you, Justin. Okay. So, card number 2 is retreat and recharge. The number 4 could be very important. It's also this card reminds me of retreat and recharge. It's like 4 of swords in the tarot deck. That's what this card reminds me of, like being in need of rest or being in need of recovery, to kind of bounce back from things that have happened, needing an energy boost. For those of us that pick card number 2, this is going to be the energy we'll be in. Okay, let's get the messages here. Connect me, Holy Spirit, to card number 2 in the messages. For those of us that will pick card number 2, for those of us that will click on the messages for card number 2, what is it you need to hear from Spirit? Thank you. Card 2. What is it you need to tell me for card number 2? Card number 2. Card number 2. Card number 2. Card number 2. We got the 7 of. I feel like some of us right now with this message that I got is it's like some of us might have made investments that now we're looking back on them, we're like, damn, was this the right investment, or did I waste my time or something like that, is what I'm hearing for some of us. What's the overall outcome here for those of us that pick card number 2? Outcome here, the overall situation rather. What's the overall situation for those of us that pick card number 2? Yeah, some of y'all feel like you wasted a lot of time doing something, but I feel like it wasn't a waste of time. This might have just feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Perception is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. But it's something that we have to learn how to control because it's the mind, right? I'm also seeing that you're getting a lot of counsel right now, like you're working with your spiritual counsel right now. So I feel like for those of us, you funny as shit, Justin. Okay, so let's see outcomes here, or overall situation for card number 2. Overall situation for card number 2. Okay. So we got the Ace of Pentacles as well. Yeah, so it's like kind of like situations where you feel like you invested in a situation, or you put into something, and it's just the feeling of, did I make the proper investment, or did I get everything that I need to get out of a situation, or kind of looking back at something. I don't know if this is regret or what the fuck this is, but my bad. I'm just be distracting me, yo. But that's what it kind of felt like. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did I make a bad investment? Did I do what I was supposed to do or something like that? You got the Ace of Pentacles out here, then you got the World upside down. Ace of Pentacles upside down. Yeah, this feels like a bad investment. Somebody feels like they didn't invest something properly. But the thing is they're saying be persistent here, okay, is what I'm getting, okay? Some of you guys need to rest and recover. Some of you guys need to, like, delegate responsibility. You might be trying to do something where you feel like, oh, I got to be the only one to do this, when really you can delegate responsibility amongst the team or a few people, and like kind of pass around the responsibility a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And give other people, you know, a little bit of something to look forward to and something to look after so they can feel responsible and so on and so forth. Like, you don't have to chew it, to bite it all and chew it all in one bite, in one sitting, you know, is what Spirit is trying to say. Like, you're trying to rush something, but you don't have to rush this process, okay? Spirit wants you to know that right now it's okay to retreat and recharge right now. And I feel like some of you guys might feel like it's difficult for you to do, because it's like you look at yourself like, I'm such a boss, or I'm such a type of energy, like I gotta take care of everything and I gotta be the one, you know what I'm saying? And that shit gets draining. It's not that you can't do it, because of course you can do it. You've been doing it all this time, you know what I'm saying? That's not the point. The point is you don't have to do it all by yourself, you know what I'm saying? And it gets lonely, and it pulls from your energy, you know what I'm saying? When you're constantly feeling like you have to do something like that on your own, right? Spirit wants you to rest and recharge, kind of reconnect to center and ground yourself back, you know, to earth. Because a lot of times people, like, with this situation, a lot of times, like, you take on, like, these complex and these personalities, like God, like complexes and psychosis and all this shit, right? Thinking that you gotta take on all of this shit, and you don't. You don't. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, I'm seeing, like, it's like you learn a lot of information, you get a lot of information, but it's like hard for you to sometimes make it all make sense, right? And so that's what Spirit's like, wants you to slow down and, like, create structure, you know what I'm saying, with your thoughts and what you got going on, you know. Part of that is just knowing when to, like, draw back and be like, okay, I need to retreat, you know, because I know in the world it's difficult, because the world will have you thinking like, oh, life going on, like I gotta somehow keep up with this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, the reality of it is you don't. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And when we get into those mindsets, it fucks us over, because we're not able to be in the now, in the present, right? Therefore, you can't enjoy what is now and what is present, right? Because you're too busy moving, trying to hurry up. Like, let me hurry up and get to the future. Let me hurry up and get to the next thing. Let me hurry up. This shit pissing me off. Like, it's taking too long, you know? And you can't really see the beauty in the now. And there's so much splendor in it, right? So you miss out on shit. So Spirit just wants you to slow down a little bit so that you can retreat and recharge. That's what I'm getting overall as the message here for this card. But let's get the outcomes. Let's get the outcomes for this reading. I didn't feel like I needed to clarify not one of those cards, but let's get the So let's get the outcome instead, since I'm not clarifying it. Outcomes for card number 2. Outcomes for card number 2. Yeah. So the outcome here is like, yeah, you will be taking like somewhat of like a break, or somewhat of a moment to just kind of get your shit together. Some of you guys, this also will help you because I feel like you could be losing at the same time you're making, you're achieving, but it's like you're losing, you know. And I feel like for some of you guys, like it could have resonated, like your loss in your money in your pockets because kind of you moving a little too fast, or like you're not showing enough. What is this shit? It's like you're not being. It's not. I don't want to say fiscally responsible, but it's like, you know how you do something, you be like, oh, because I got enough money for it, but then it's like later on, it's like I had enough money for it, but I really didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit, and is what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's the best way that I can describe that. But it just feels like, you know, for the most part, the outcome is, for those of us that pick card two, it's like take your time. You'll be having a moment too in the future where you will be just doing just that, taking your time and really looking back at situations and how they turned out, taking like a repose or a respite, you know, a moment to yourself. And it's not like vacation or no shit like that, but it's like just that mental reflection time, you know, is all it takes to kind of turn things around for those of us that pick card two, you know. And that's going to be so necessary because I think that it'll help you have a better viewpoint into your life and maybe not be so narrow-minded about certain things. Yeah, because that's what I'm hearing, like, it's not that you mean to be, it just happens, you know. Just by thinking that you have to take on everything, you know, and you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not your job. Get somebody else to do it. Okay? That's what I keep hearing overall. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like your first card, I was in a Seven of Pentacles. Now you got the Eight of Pentacles. It's like I don't have to work so hard. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to tax myself as hard now, you know? It's the outcome. It's like, you know, sometimes we think that we have to do that in order to show up to the world a certain way, and I get it because we're all dealing with the pressures of the world, right? And the thing is those are the world outside of us. We have already created paradigms in how we see ourselves, what we want to be into the world, etc., etc. And the more that we become accepting of ourselves and what we want and honoring that, there comes rest, there comes peace behind that. And I need you to know that for those of us that pick card two, that feel like I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep you know, because I gotta make it look like, and I gotta have it this, because the world told me I gotta be 6-figure by the name of Jigga. Like, yo, you know, so you've been programmed, right? And now you're reprogramming yourself into a different structure that you still have the things that make you comfortable, of course, but it's like you're not going to work as hard to do these things. You're going to work smarter now. You're going to take those well-needed breaks to look at yourself and really reflect and make sure that you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're being like really more structured and more forgiving as well, you know, to self. Just period, because you love yourself. And this is also a direct reflection of the relationship that you're conjuring with spirit and cultivating with spirit, right? So it kind of works out for the best, you know, when you take these moments, these reposes or whatever you want to call it, like, you know, moments to yourself, right? And kind of figure shit out, right? It works to your advantage. Okay, so let's get the advice. Is there any advice for those of us that picked card number two? Advice, messages of advice. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands. Release anything that you feel is burdening you right now, whether that be physically or mentally, right? Also, seeing advice that, you know, sometimes you need to build more structure or routine. Good habits will help with making it easier for you to get into that flow of giving yourself more of a retreat and recharge moments in your life. Making that an actual routine. Okay, that's my advice. Like, take that time, make that time. You know what I'm saying, for yourself, so that you could be sharp and on point on some real shit. Because I feel like when you're not, it's like you're able to be taken advantage of. Because it's like, if, okay, so listen to this. If I can see where shit could get you fucked up, best believe that your opposition in your life can see it too. You get what I'm saying? So if I can see where you might be lacking, then your opposition sees it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta be that sharp. You know what I'm saying? On this shit is my advice, right? Because I feel like your opposition is just waiting, you know, for you to just not be as on point, right? So that it can strike, the opposition can strike and win, right? So that's why it's so important to be able to connect with self and be grounded, to know, you know, when do I need to connect again, right, to self, right? But that's my overall advice for those of us that pick card number 2. We're going to slide into the message for card number 3. Card number 3. Okay, so messages. Honestly assess. For card number 3, messages. Honestly assess. It's like you looking into your life and saying, I'm going to honestly assess this situation. I'm going to look at it from an honest perspective, like truly radical honesty. I need it, right? So, not bad, not bad. Honestly assess, it says. Definitely for those of us who pick card number 3, you're going to be taking a look at stuff, seeing how, you know, just how you can be so honest with yourself that it can better you, right? Obviously. Let's dive a little deeper with tarot. What's the overall outcome here for card number 3? Those of us that will be picking the message pertaining to card number 3 selection. So we got the 9 of Cups. I feel like you're getting what you want. Some of you guys can feel like, whatever. It's kind of what I wanted. Yeah. See, because Spirit led you away from certain situations and placed you into better situations. But you just have to trust that Spirit knows what the fuck they're talking about. You just got to trust it more. If you don't trust it enough, then, you know what I'm saying? It'll make your assessment really hard because you'll be looking at it from the improper perspective. An improper perspective. You won't be being honest with yourself, but honestly assess really how good life has been. You know, Spirit's been pretty good to us, those of us that pick card 3, right? Truly. Can I get the outcome here for those of us that pick card number 3? Yeah, I'm seeing a Knight of Swords. I'm seeing like a lot of changes really rapidly happening in our lives that we like really been struggling to make happen, and they finally happened for us. Like it's really quickly coming in. A lot of blessings that we've been looking for. Some of us tough lessons, but we learned them through acceptance and awareness. What's the outcome, overall situation here? Okay, learn how to trust your fucking intuition, number fucking 1. Okay, this beautiful energy of the High Priestess is just learning how to trust who you are. And it may have been something that you struggle with, but I feel like you're overcoming that at this time with honestly assessing yourself. Like, yo, really, man, who I used to be versus who I am now, right? And you're honestly assessing that. I feel like you see yourself as a more valuable player than you've ever viewed yourself. This is definitely due so you kind of taking in the viewpoints of other people about you and who you are. Okay, which is quite easy to do. You live in this world, right? And it's easy to just take on people's perceptions and concepts of us, you know, without even being mindful that we're doing so, right? Because we're too busy trying to live our lives that we don't realize sometimes we're living the life of what somebody else has built for us, right? And so we have to, when we sit back and honestly assess things and see like, hold on, wait a minute, now I got to create the life that I want for me, right? It puts everything into perspective, right? That's where I feel like we are, those of us that pick card number 3. You're really starting to honestly assess like, where have I been, or where do I want to go? Damn. Fuck. I hit that bit so hard. Fuck. That shit like that. Took that down. Well, let's see. Tell me more about the High Priestess. Let's get some messages on the High Priestess. Some messages of clarity for the High Priestess here. Yeah, 3 of Swords. This was like a deep depression or something like that. Because it's like when you live in the life that somebody else has built or somebody else envisioned for you to live, and then you wake up out of that spell, and then you realize I'm the creator of my universe. That shit hits deep, right? It rocks the motherfucking soul. You know? It rocks the soul on some real shit. And I feel like it's not many of us who work through that type of pain where you've been indoctrinated to whatever it is, right? This could be religion. This could be, you know, modern medicine. This can be whatever your indoctrination is, okay? And so when we wake up from this, right, there is a level of care, a level of responsibility that you are assessing now. And it puts you in the High Priestess. And I feel like you might feel sometimes not afraid, but more so like, holy shit, I'm really in control of some shit. Like, or like it puts you in this shit like you feel like a kid like making like a decision when you're like grown, like, but you feel like inexperienced or immature. So the High Priestess message is coming and saying, utilize spirit to help you make difficult decisions, because you don't have to do this alone either. Why do I feel like that was the main theme for all card selections tonight? But that is the fucking thing. I mean, it is what it is. Please utilize your spirit, okay? You don't have to feel like you do this alone. You don't, right? The hard decisions, right? The tough decisions. So many times we think we're alone. We got to do this shit by ourselves. But that was the beauty of you trusting spirit, so that spirit can give you the downloads and give you the information so that you can be able to move positively towards